And the other way that men will test you is with how you carry yourself. But I want to highlight right now social media, okay? So I was actually just at an event over the weekend, and the question was asked, how do men determine just by looking at a woman if she's wifey material, or what can get a woman basically knocked off that potential list? And the guy who the question was asked to mentioned how women present themselves online. And so I know there's a lot of women who think, well, men want the provocative women. And I actually had a woman friend who says that she has other friends who recently went from being conservative to provocative online because they feel like they weren't getting the attention being conservative. And so there's this tricky dynamic going on, because let me say this. Yes, men will show more attention to the provocative online. However, they're not necessarily looking at the provocative as wifey material. Are there men who will still get with a woman who's provocative online as wife? Yes. If I'm honest, I'm one of those guys. I wouldn't hold it against a woman. It doesn't faze me in that way, all right? And I'm someone who I probably have more reason to be concerned with it due to branding and all that kind of stuff. And I do think there's a line. Don't get me wrong. I got a line, okay? But I'm probably still very open-minded in that way for various reasons. But I know plenty of men who they don't play that at all. And any level of provocativeness online with the way the woman presents herself is like, oh no, done. I know a guy who almost broke up with his girl for that reason. They got the situation worked out. But yeah, it can be a problem. So with that said, when we talk about testing, so remember I said earlier, testing isn't always this blatant action to see how you handle it or your reaction. Sometimes it's a matter of observing you in certain situations and things of that nature. And so social media is one of those things. Let me also say this. I know of the same way women will say, well, these men only want these provocative women, or what some of you may label as IG models, whatever the case may be. Well, I know a woman who is an esthetician, and she told me, she says she knows of women who are quote unquote IG models who actually turned away from that presentation because it was causing them to have a struggle with finding genuine relationship. Okay? So while some of y'all may think they're getting it all, or it's easy no, it's not easy for anybody. All right. You know, it's everyone has to be mindful of various factors that can play into whether they're going to experience success with dating and relationships or not. All right. But anyways, to get back to the point, I'm highlighting online, but of course, in person is also going to play a part. How you present yourself to the world, how you not just present yourself to the world, but how you interact with men in general. All these things are going to be, in essence, a way he's testing you to see how you operate, to see how what to him translates to you being able to be trusted. I'm going to go into that a little bit more on a different point, but understand that's where a lot of this connects, because a lot of men will view the provocative woman as, oh, like they say, I'm not saying I say it, they say, you know, she's for the streets. I'm sure y'all have heard this term before, all right? And they'll view it as that because she's more liberal with the way she presents herself online. Now, I will say this. I think one of the reasons why I'm a little different in the way that I look at it is because I know through talking to so many different people and seeing so many different scenarios that this one aspect doesn't define the person. And there's various reasons why someone may engage in certain behaviors, but it doesn't tell you the whole story. And so because of that, I don't judge people based off of this little thing or this thing or that thing. There's more to that woman than that. You know what I'm saying? And to me, if the totality of who you are is still an amazing woman, I'm not going to discredit you for that one thing. But the average man does not have the experience or the privilege to have seen deeper into people's lives like I have. So I understand that their perception is going to be limited or is going to be shaped by what they have gotten to experience. And that is where they see a lot of this provocativeness turn into scandalous behavior, so to speak. All right. And that's where they start to make the connection. So anyways, bottom line is, yes, this is definitely an area that a lot of men are testing women and using it as a way to evaluate if you're a woman that he can take serious. All right, so I was gonna move on to the next point, but a point was just made, so let me cover this real quick. Again, it goes back to being yourself. As a woman, you have to be true to who you are. I'm not here to determine whether you should be provocative or should not be provocative. I'm here to tell you, tap into what makes you happy, all right? I think, of course, yes, we want to be mindful of certain things because there can be, you know, how we carry ourselves can bring forth certain types of energy to us, all right? So we do have to be aware of that. But I do think, as was mentioned to me, some women, so there are women who are presenting themselves as very conservative because you're afraid of how it may look if you be a little bit more provocative, but you're going against what your nature may be, what's true to you, where you find some happiness and freedom, all right? Then there's other women who may be trying to be provocative, hoping it gets them attention, but your true nature isn't being conservative. And that's where you have your peace. And so I always want you as a woman to go where you truly find happiness, finding your true self, walking in that and walking in that with confidence, being that woman, all right? So wherever it is, do that. But I will say this before I move on to the next point, balance is always good. I think when we can do both, as they say, all right, that's a great thing. I think you're conservative, but maybe if you're in a relationship, there's going to be moments where you can be a little more provocative. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. There's going to be times where it's time to be a little more conservative. I just think the ability to do both is great, but again, be true to who you are. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. Some men will play games. You're probably thinking they all play games, but no, some men. But in this context, it's not playing games to manipulate you, hurt you. It's not with ill intent.